Quite an interesting situation. Okay. Guys, anybody who's stopping by, I'm not even looking at the chat right now, I'm sorry. But thank you for stopping by. We're testing budget hardware with an office PC, a small low profile office PC running on Fortnite. This is here at Anthem Tech. We're all about testing older hardware and giving that old hardware a second chance of life. And I'm kind of testing to see how my sound is coming up for if I ever want to go live. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. But not even where I can see how it's going. So yeah. Interesting. All right, let's see what. Yeah, definitely Fortnite it's evolved into like a different animal altogether. All right, let's see. Okay. Yeah, totally different now. We're just gonna switch to because nobody's gonna want to see it. We're gonna do the DirectX 11 performance, legacy performance versus performance mode. That's gonna be it. So which one should you do if you have a low budget PC? That's what this is gonna be. So this is a Intel Core i5 6500 that I'm pairing with a GTX 750. And you know, it's a super budget PC that. So yeah, so we're gonna be testing the. So anyway, if you guys are just stopping by, welcome to Anthem Tech. My name is Ricky. I like testing old budget hardware, and giving old PCs a second chance at life. So this is actually an InWin B, and the case is actually an InWin what's it called, MATX yeah, so it's InWin Desktop BL631 MATX motherboard. Sorry, MATX case that essentially mimics something that would be like kind of like if you had an office PC and you wanted to upgrade that, like an Optiplex or cheap office PCs and things like that. It's a good way to get yourself into PC building without having to spend a lot of money, and also risking less valuable hardware. Let's say that if you get like a more proper like gaming PC afterwards, then you already have the experience because okay. Let's see how does that look. But yeah, if you guys are stopping by, feel free to say hi. If you guys have any questions about PC building, I'd be happy to answer. But going back to system specs. So, like I said, we're gonna be testing Fortnite, running on the Intel Core i5 6500. This is a 4-core, 4-thread processor, running with 16 gigabytes of RAM, running on dual channel at stock speed, which means that it's running at 2133 megahertz. And I'm pairing it with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 750. This was like a budget system years ago, but in spite of that, I still think they're worth using, they're worth saving. And I'm gonna show you the guys that by comparing. Oh yeah, sorry. And also the driver version. We're running on NVIDIA's 581.80, which is the latest driver for this card at the time of recording. Sometimes they add, it seems like when NVIDIA has sometimes adds older graphics cards in AMD, and they seem to like to do that, and I'm okay with that. That seems to be pretty good. You know, keep older cards running, because I mean hardware is so expensive, and they don't want to. Yeah, I just switched that to that. Okay. Yeah, no, I still recommend if you wanna put together a PC like this, it's still worth it, but it's difficult to predict what the market is going to be in the future. And a year ago, I would have said if you have $200, don't even waste your time. Just save that money, and eventually you can get something better. If you were able to save that money before, maybe you can save a little more and build it. But then, if you had listened to me now with the RAM shortage that is going on, you know, it's not even worth it. So that's why I just want to present to you guys how good the performance is, and then you guys can make your own decision. But anyway, we're gonna close up Task Manager and open up the settings. We are running on 1080p, running on a limited frame rate, on performance legacy mode. We're going to start with performance legacy mode, and then we're going to switch over to performance mode. I have my custom settings that I usually do with Fortnite whenever I test it, and I usually do medium 3D resolution. I leave it at 75%, medium view distance, and medium textures, high meshes. And this is just a quick look if you guys want to take a look at the settings that I set up. It's just to kind of balance out a little bit, and my target hopefully is at least 120 FPS, because that's essentially what most of the new consoles are running at. That most of the new consoles are running at. Oh, just realized that I was doing the recording with okay, so in case you just hopped in, today we're going to be testing Fortnite running on the Intel Core i5 6500 paired with 16 gigabytes of RAM, running on dual channel with running at stock speeds at 2133 megahertz. And I'm pairing it with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 750. Alright, very good. So here are the settings. We're running the game on performance mode. I'm going to compare it between the legacy performance mode and the regular performance mode in terms of what is the difference in terms of FPS. I'm running the game on 75% 3D resolution, medium view distance and medium textures. Just want to try to get as close as possible to the PlayStation 5 performance, and we'll see if we can do that. At least here in the lobby we're getting 120, so that's something. Alright, very good. Oh yeah, and we're running the game on 1080p. The drivers that I have installed are the 581.80, which are the latest drivers as of the time of recording. Alright, let's close up Task Manager and let's get started. I'm gonna run a Battle Royale match and try to do a little bit of building while I'm in the game. Thank you so much for your likes, guys. I appreciate that. Alright, very good. So let's get started. Usually the way that I like to test systems is to test that at test for at least a minute inside the actual when I'm in the island, and then we'll just finish the match. But I'm only gonna do that with performance legacy, where I'm not gonna load up the textures more, because I've been playing the game and testing out audio for a little while, so all the assets have already loaded up. Okay, a little bit of practice. All right, pretty good. And let's see. Uh-oh. What was that? Every now and then, it almost seems like the game kind of like times out. I think it probably has to do with Riva Tuner. And it'll get stuck at 30 FPS, so I gotta keep an eye out for that. And that was an issue that I was having before. Okay, let's check this out. We are running at 69 FPS. Funny coincidence. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm testing a game. I can't afford for you to kill me right now. Alrighty, let's go ahead and start the benchmark run. Here we go. Alright. $103, not bad. Getting pretty close to PlayStation 5 level, so that's not too bad. Let's see. I guess I should probably do some building to kind of like replicate that, right? Yes, I'm using quick build. I'm a zero build player, guys. Be nice. Yeah. Oh, it's a real struggle. But I mean, I gotta say that I do pretty good at as a zero build player in build whenever I try to come here. Oh, in case you guys are curious, I'm playing on controller because that's how I like to play Fortnite, which is ironic because a lot of the people that I like constantly try to persuade to get into PC building are interested in getting into PC building because they can use the keyboard. But I kind of got to a point where like, oh great, I just lost my present. That's great. Good job, Ricky. Oh jeez. Okay, all right. Well, that was lucky. And I know that that person is definitely going to come down. And it's probably not a person. It could be a bot, but still. I'm really not in a good place right now. And that's what was gonna happen. Alright, let's stop. Stop. Okay, cool. So let's take a quick look. And on the first test, we get an average of 101 FPS with a minimum frame rate of 54.5 and a maximum frame rate of 128.9. But the 1% lows are 31.5. I almost don't even bother with the 0.1% lows because this is Fortnite, and a lot of people on the internet refer to it as stutter night because it stutters so much, and you just can't avoid it. But the difference between this and when you play it on like PlayStation 4, for example, or PlayStation 5, is that these are just direct frames that you actually get from the system. The FPS counter doesn't care about the feelings of the manufacturer or the game or anything like that. Those are real. That's real FPS. Okay. Alright. Try it one more time, see if we get a better result. And then we'll go ahead and switch to the performance mode. If you guys want to check out the kind of summarized version of the video in the future, feel free to subscribe. I'll have I always upload benchmarks with different games, different hardware combinations. And also, if you guys have questions about PC building or game setup and things like that, just general computer stuff, I'm happy to help. If I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to figure it out. Alright, cool. Let's try this one more time. That's why I don't like having the counter when the bus is when you're on the bus, because you kind of get like the distance. If you look up in the sky, you get really high FPS no matter what you're doing. But the FPS that you care about is when you're actually fighting people on the game. So, you know, obviously, it's when you're on the ground. Because when you're looking at the sky, it doesn't matter. How does the game actually perform when you're playing in a system like this? And is this better than what you currently have? We ran prices the way they are right now. With RAM prices the way they are right now, it's difficult to get into PC building. So, you really gotta outweigh your options. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and try to do some damage. let's go ahead and start the benchmark run and see what do we get. A little bit of running. A little bit of... Oh. And that's what a zero build player does in build. We do a little bit of building, but I mean, I mostly just do it for testing purposes because, you know, gotta include a building on. It is part of the game, but I'm really just trying to simulate an actual good builder because, you know, I'm not. But all right. Okay, well, not my best, but I do think that was a pretty good benchmark run. I like that. Alright, let's take a look at the results. And in the last run, we had an average of 89 FPS. So it actually went down. When you actually get into a serious fight, it actually goes down quite a bit. So we got an average of 89.8 FPS with a minimum frame rate of 58.7, a maximum frame rate of 114.5, with a 1% low of 37.1. So yeah, that's about as much as a system like this can do in performance mode. I feel like this is a more realistic approach because I think the previous one had a lot of menu spots, and also when you're in this point too, this point can throw off the test because you see if we go back into the game and we start, it randomly jumps up. It jumps up a lot, so I try to stay away from those. Try to kind of showcase the actual FPS of when you're in the game, which is what we at the end of the day. That's actually what we care about. All right, very good. So let's go ahead and switch over to the DirectX 12 performance mode. We're gonna have to restart the game, of course, and let it run a few times before I actually, and of course we're gonna run the game, let the game we're gonna let the game load all the assets. So I'm gonna land on the island at least once or twice. I do have it is something that if you want to get as much FPS as possible, is one of the simple things that you can do. That is, why are you not running? Come on. All right. Okay, fine. Just end it. End the task. Come on. Gotta love computers. I love computers, but I like the building part of it. Sometimes dealing with the software can be so annoying. and that's okay. That's part of the fun. Okay, let's see if we can get you to cooperate now. What's going on? Alright, let's close Epic Games. No, don't say no, just close. Close this. Let's try this again. We are running out of SATA hardware, so it's not going to be as fast as an M.2. It's still running. I'm gonna have to restart the system. When you put together a system like this and you find a good FPS, a good setting that gives you good stable FPS, you want to leave it at that. And just the best thing you can do is just be realistic with the kind of hardware that you have. With something like this, personally, I would say that the original, not the legacy performance, just the normal performance mode. Alright, so we're restarting the system right now. So yeah, I would say that with something like this, the regular performance mode is going to be the best. But we'll see. That's my prediction. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so we're back on desktop, and almost. We're gonna restart the game. But now we're gonna switch away from legacy performance, and we're gonna switch into normal performance mode. Same settings, and we'll do the comparison. I don't know what the legacy performance do. It mentions the fact that it renders less assets on DirectX 12 or DirectX 11. That's what the description mentions. But I have a feeling that there might be more going on there. But I just want to figure out which one is better for a system like this, and that's what I'm doing right now, essentially. Okay. That's okay. We don't want to allocate too many resources to the stream. So I'm hoping that this thing is allocating plenty to the recording. We're doing that, right? We're doing that, right? Sorry, guys. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the streaming computer. It's a laptop. It's an HP. You don't need a lot to do recordings, but you do need a good encoder. And Intel, so far, it's been working okay. But sometimes you need more. You might need more than just the cheapest laptop you can possibly find when it comes to recording or streaming. If you guys have questions about that, I can help, because I've been dealing with this for like 2 years by now, which is funny. Alright, great. So we are back in the game, and you can tell the difference because the DirectX 12 has like the band is shinier, I think. I'm not sure, but let's jump into the settings. And now we're running on 1080p on regular performance, on 75% 3D resolution, medium view distance, medium textures, and high meshes. Alright, do we have... Oh, we do not have MSI Afterburner. Come on, MSI, do your thing. There it is. Sometimes I have to burn it, just gotta wait for it to load up. Because then that's how you get the overlay. Okay, great. So we are back on performance mode. So let's go ahead and jump back into Battle Royale. And see what kind of performance we can get. It's already looking better. But that's really subjective. Plus the compression that the video gets when it gets recorded just doesn't quite give you the same experience that I get. I have 165 hertz monitor, so I kind of want something that can get close to that, but I know that a system like this might not be it. Alright, let's try this out. I mean, it's definitely looking better. Alright. Well, let's see in the actual game, though. Wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I got killed by a bot. Good job, Ricky. Not saying I'm a pro game. I'm not saying I'm actually good at Fortnite. That's the reason that I test PCs, not try to compete on Fortnite tournaments. I do enjoy the game though. Sometimes I have my moments. You'll see. Right now I'm just like watching like OBS and the camera and the overlay and so many things going on. I can't possibly concentrate. But it is rising in temperature, and that is exactly what I wanted. That was the main reason that when I found the PC case, the main reason that I took it was A, because it was a free PC, and B was because it mimics the shape of an office PC, something kind of like this. The question that I'm trying to answer is it worth it to go dumpster diving for office PCs? I'd argue that it is, but we'll talk about that later, towards the end. Alright, very good. One of the things you gotta make sure is that you ask somebody that, you know, you can get in so much trouble for taking stuff that's not yours. Just ask before you take those kind of PCs. But when you do, you get a free PC, so that's awesome. And playing around with them it's something that I like. And tinkering with them, I love tinkering with old hardware and just cleaning it up and making it look good, that sort of thing, bringing it back. all of this equipment takes so much effort to make. We shouldn't just waste it and throw it out if we can. Alright. Oh, that was an actual player. Alright. Let's go. I come up as anonymous too. Damn it. Okay. Well, we're just loading assets. We're loading assets. Not playing for real. Okay. Alright, here we go again. Sure, Ricky. It's just trying to hide the fact that you suck. Ah! I know. I'm not great. But it's okay. You don't have to be the best at this game. You can see yourself get better and better little by little. Something that I always say is you either leave Fortnite a casual or you play long enough to see yourself become the sweat. And I've had my sessions of playing Fortnite and taking it way too seriously. It's fun like that too, though. And GPU's temperature is going up. That's okay, we're still pretty good though. 65 degrees on a GPU, especially on a low profile GPU. It's not bad at all. It's funny because we're in the match and most of the pulse is 30 watts. 30 watts. Combined, both the CPU and the GPU aren't even pulling 100 watts. That's why something like 180, 190 watts power supply in some of the office PCs that you see out there is enough for something like this. It's not ideal though, because you can actually do things where you can like boost the amount of watts that the system pulls, that the GPU pulls to get a little more performance. I haven't dabbled that much into them, so if you guys have and you have any suggestions, yeah, definitely leave them in the comments. That'd be interesting. I've seen guys like from bigger YouTube channels, like the guy from ETA Prime. Sometimes he plays around with changing the voltage on the CPUs and things like that, which is something I definitely want to look into. But for now, I stick to mostly just stock settings to kind of replicate what you can get out of the box from an office PC. I'm sorry, but I just can't afford to. Alright, so I'd say they were pretty loaded up already. Not as far as guns, so I need to find something to. Look at this guy. Man, the FPS really goes up like that. Alright, let's try the count now and see what we get. I think 3 times loading the match. Loading the map should be enough to kind of give us a realistic idea. Nope, nobody here. Oh, there they are. Oh man, That was terrible. Okay. Alright, we'll try it one more time. Alright, let's try a little bit of mouse. A little mouse and keyboard, because now I'm getting angry. Okay. I mean, that's what Fortnite does to you, though. You're just constantly angry. You're fueled by anger, though, and that's okay. It's the simple mechanics of the game what makes it so appealing. Alright. Let's go. Yeah, I guess I'm just better with the defaults. Not that I'm necessarily great. Oh, we're getting the wave this time. Alright, cool. I don't hate the wave. I think it's pretty nice. Alright. Stutter night. Curse your stutter night, you and your endless stutters. Come on, we're running a decent internet over here. Should be able to get. Alright. Okay, let's see if we can survive this. That was a little dirty, I'm sorry, but we're testing right now. I actually don't really like that blizzard grenade. Yeah, I'll pass. I think I'll pass in the pistol too. And yeah, that's better. Alright, let's go. Alright, we need a little bit of building. Okay, trying to simulate it. I mean, obviously I'm not. Obviously I'm a zero build player, so I'm like terrible at building. But at least I try to push the system to build as quickly as possible with fast build, which should replicate the movement of somebody who's actually a good player and can actually use building. I'm not a fan of building, but you know, don't knock it till you try it. I guess I've played and built a few times, and I even got to a point where I was like relatively good, but you know, stretching the definition of relatively good. 95. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that it was gonna be better with the original. The legacy performances actually seem to be better with this graphics card. Just like, oh come on, let's just get out of here. Okay. We're gonna stop the benchmark there because I might get killed pretty soon. We'll just jump into the results later. That should give us a good idea of kind of performance that you can expect out of something like this. Ooh, stutter, big stutters. Yeah, that's something that's bound to happen. It's very difficult to avoid it. There we go. Okay. We survived, but barely. And now we're dead. Okay, let's get back to the lobby. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull up the results. And for the last run, see, this is what I was concerned about. The minimum frame rate drops too much, and then it kind of just gives us like a false result, where you get something like this. But the previous one, let's try this one more time. But this time, making sure that it's a little more stable. Man, yeah, this is the kind of experience that you can expect to have on Fortnite on a regular basis. I think it's all that flying. You gotta avoid flying, just run around and do some building. Lots of stutters. Even in relatively low settings, you can still expect to get some stutters at the beginning of the game. Let's go ahead and start the benchmark. Hopefully we don't get too many stutters, otherwise we're gonna have to what's going on? Oh, I see. Yeah. You gotta close the benchmark results. And close this. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start from here. Okay. So in that sense, I guess the case is really living up to its Office PC-like performance, because we're getting close to 60. So we're close to 70 F. We're getting close to 70 degrees on the GPU, and sadly this is normal. You're gonna get high temperatures, and there's very little you can do. In a PC like this, for example, I could get something like a Thermalright low profile cooler, but on most Office PCs you won't be able to, because the mounting points are different, or the space in the case is a little limited. But yeah, whatever you can do with cooling in an Office PC helps, because then we start getting like thermal throttling like we're getting now. I'm not sure if we're getting anything you can do with cooling. It's always helps. I've seen people put like small fans inside Office PC cases, because eventually it does start actually affecting like the performance, where the system actually starts slowing itself down to prevent burning up and things like that. Let's do some building over here. Well, I mean, it would at least make a terrible zero build player seem like he can actually build. So I'd say it's done his job. It's not great though. Alright, great. Let's go ahead and shut down the benchmark. Very good. And now let's just finish the match real quick. Let's just finish the match quickly. And then we'll go ahead and check the results compared to the longer run that we had earlier. At this point, it's safe to say that this is basically what the performance of a system like this is going to give you. Once the graphics card stabilize, they for the most part stay roughly the same. Even if you go up to like 75 degrees on a graphics card, it's not gonna break it. I mean, if you do it all the time, it'll start drying out the thermal paste, and it could burn up the capacitors and everything. But I mean, normal use can do that too. Alright. Uh-oh. Got a sniper. Where are you? Okay, that was a good shot. I give him that much. That was great. Okay, great. Let's go back to the lobby, and then I'll share with you guys my final thoughts, and I'll leave you guys with this. Let's just take a look, and this will be the results for the actual benchmark. Okay, great. Let's go back to the lobby. So, oops. All right, very good. So let's head over to the results. And for the last match, we got an average frame rate of 91.2 FPS, with a minimum frame rate of 15.9. and a maximum frame rate of 134.8. The 0% low is 4. So it's difficult to tell what's going on over here, because although yes, we were getting lower frame rates with the legacy performance mode, it seems to be more stable. So I want to kind of go back to the original one, because I want to try to see if it is in fact more stable. Then even getting slightly lower frame rate would still be worth it. So we're gonna go back to legacy performance, and we're gonna run at least one match to see if it's actually worth it. But it's starting to seem like legacy performance, especially on an old system like this, is worth it. All right, let's double check that. And this is pretty much what a benchmark run is. It's just running the system with as much FPS as fast as possible. But a system like this, personally, I would just run it at 75 FPS and get the system to stabilize. So we're going to do that last, where I'm going to lock the frame rate on Riva Tuner, and I might even set it up for 100. But I think we're going to lock it at 75, and then you start getting a more stable performance, and I feel like it performs better. So I want to test both of those things right now. as we go along. All right, cool. The game is loading up, and that's pretty. Oh my god, I've been live for an hour now. This is why I don't do the benchmark runs live, because I get distracted chatting. But if you guys want to come back and check out the benchmark run after it's been edited, or if you want to check out any other of the sorry about that, of any of the other benchmark runs that I have already posted. This is essentially what this channel is about. Oh, I need some water. Okay, great. Okay, let's give it a shot. Especially now that the GPU is actually hot. And even now without... Oh no, what is that? Okay. Alright, we're fine. Let's try this one more time. I still feel like this is more stable though. Okay. I guess I'll take this one. Okay. And then let's go back and try to simulate a little bit of building again. I guess we need some materials. Alright, yeah, a little more than that. start to do some building. Okay. Now, we'll see the results for that. And then what I want to do is, typically in a system like this, what you want to do is lock the FPS, but I usually lock it with Riva Tuner instead. So, you go into MSI Afterburner, and then you can open it on any of the ones that say More, or View, or things for that matter. And then once you get here, we're going to set up the limiter to 75, because I think this is about as much as this system can handle. Okay, very good. Apply it. Did I close it? No. Wait, where's... What happened, Riva Tuner? Oh no, did it make the game crash? Darn it. Come on, come on. It's still a null system though. I mean, stuff like this will happen from time to time. What is this? I guess the game crashed. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys with my conclusions. As far as whether or not I think this is a good hardware combination is kind of irrelevant, because we never know where the market is gonna go, and so as far as whether or not I think this is a good hardware combination, it's hard to say. We don't know where the market is going to be in a few years. We don't know. So it's if you find it at a good deal, then just take it and use it, because it doesn't take much for you to be able to get a system that can handle Fortnite, if that's what you want to play. And you can base yourself on something like this. I hope this helps in your PC building journey. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Consider subscribing and liking if you like what I do.